Hi everyone. I'm very sorry, but I cannot be with you here live. Something came up that I must attend to, and I could not reschedule that other engagement. So this meeting is going to be left in capable hands of Karen Lindens. But I wanted to record a short message for you that hopefully will be playable during the Zoom meeting that you have this morning. So first of all, thank you so much for staying or joining the XCulture Advisory Board. Your help is your input, your advice, your help are extremely appreciated and are very important. And in fact, the whole reason for today's meeting is that there are a few issues where we would like to get your input. And I will share some of them, and then hopefully you will have some discussion under Karen's leadership here, and we will get some input from you. So we will have some discussion live, but then we will follow up with a quick open-ended, not really a survey, but opportunity for you to comment and provide your input. And then we will very carefully review it and take it into account when making the decisions. A little bit on the situation where XCulture is at this time. So everything seems fine. So we finished the last semester strong. Everything went very well. The plan was to have the XCulture Global Business Week in Singapore. And as you know, we had to cancel it because of COVID-19, unfortunately. Last minute, we decided to do something instead online. And actually that worked very well. So we had over 500 people joining us live in Zoom, in fact, more than our system could accommodate. And then we had many more, something like 2,000 watching on live stream on Facebook. So it was a very well attended event, and probably we should do it more often because we had quite a few participants and good feedback. We had speakers from Google, from Microsoft, from all kinds of different branches and friends. For this semester, it looks like we will have about the same number of participants as always. So as of this moment, we have 134, I believe, professors accepted to participate in the fall semester. As always, we will have a few more. First of all, we're not at the deadline yet. And then for the late track, people will join a little later. So it looks like we'll have roughly the same number as always, which is interesting because some predicted that we will have many fewer. For the reason that with all this turbulence and uncertainty, many professors will try to minimize their workload and engagements and will stay away from something as big and ambitious as XCulture. And others said that because everybody's moving online, the demand for XCulture will be higher because we are online. But it looks like all in all, it will be probably the same 150, 60 universities. There will be roughly 5,000 or so students, maybe a little bit more. Same number of countries, maybe a little bit more because we have some new applications from countries we normally don't get, but it will be more or less as usual. Now, the questions I have for you are related to COVID-19. So it already messed up our plans a little bit with the conference. We did have to change the schedule a little bit, but I'm trying to think here if we're missing anything. So what is your prediction as to what's going to happen to academia, and then as a result of that, what we should be preparing for and how we can adapt to those changes? What can we do at XCulture to be better positioned for this brave new world, but not only to do well for ourselves, but also serve the community? So we know that we know some things about online teaching and collaboration that others perhaps are just learning now, like we've been using, for example, Zoom for like 5 years and everybody getting into it just now. We've been using all kinds of other online collaboration tools for a long time. So we definitely can teach others how to sort of survive in the global online world. But maybe there are some things that are missing, and so maybe you can share your thoughts and input on that. Second, a dilemma that I'm struggling with, and it is really for me, it's agonizing. Like I really don't know how to go about it, and it's a big, big important question for us. And hopefully you can provide and share some of your thoughts. And that is revenue. So we need, and not revenue in general, but one specific aspect of it. So we need some money to pay for our basic expenses. We need to hire some help, IT support, secretarial support, lots of things that need to be done, and we need to pay for it. And so historically, we have been relying on universities to pay, but obviously that's a very limited resource. Not every university can pay, and with what we charge, it's not giving us much revenue. But we have companies, we have all those businesses that we help. And so I did some calculations. On average, a business has about 500 students. working for 5 hours a week for 8 weeks. And so if you multiply, so the average numbers are somewhere between 10 to 20 or even 25,000 hours that our students essentially invest in the company. Yes, obviously students are not as productive as professional consultants, but we're talking about huge benefits that the companies get from us. Likewise, many companies, especially this semester, are in the business of education. And so by participating in XCulture, they essentially get free promotion exposure. So they are serving to students and universities, and and students will be meeting with potential buyers and customers. And so again, that costs something. I mean, 5,000 plus students will learn about the company, 1,000 will work on it. Some of them may be so good that maybe the companies choose to hire them. So the way I see it, the companies should pay. I mean, maybe even pay a lot. At least $1,000 per small company and probably 5 to 10 for a larger company. The dilemma I have is that I always feel extremely uncomfortable asking for money. I'm not sure if I'm the wrong person for that, or I'm just in a position where I know that we need the companies for the student experience. And so I don't feel like we are selling them something. I feel like it's a mutually beneficial exchange. And so I'm always feeling a little ambivalent about that. So like, for example, now we have about 10 companies that are serious about participating. There will be probably more. We don't need that many. We actually want to keep it at about 5 or 6 and go much deeper. But at the same time, so I can afford to literally tell them, you know what, guys, you need to pay. You don't have to pay 10,000, but if you can afford 5 or at least 1, please support us. And all of them obviously have budgets in many millions, and even the smallest ones in tens, if not hundreds of thousands. So I'm not sure how to go about that, and I really need your advice. I mean, am I overthinking it, and there is nothing wrong with asking companies to pay, or will it make us too sort of commercial oriented, and we will lose that nice academic aura that we've been having all this time? So I don't know. I mean, that's something that I really would like your input, and maybe you can help me with that. And then the third issue is recruitment. And in this case, it's not so much, we have enough participants, so we don't really need more per se. The problem is that every week or so, I get an email from someone from a different country. Like, for example, I had a meeting literally this morning from a professor from Malaysia. And he said, how did I not hear about you before? We teach in English, we want to participate. I wish I found you 10 years ago. And so I say, well, I wish you found us 10 years ago because we need you too, or we want you to, to participate. We want to help you. So it seems like while we've covered pretty much, everybody in sort of the Western world, like the United States, Canada, maybe parts of Europe, because most of those professors are members of the Academy of International Business and they sort of know about us. There are still many parts of the world, like Africa, like Asia, like maybe some parts in Latin America, that don't know about us. And so the question is, how can we reach them? And in this case, I'm not talking about how can we recruit them. I'm talking about how can we inform them about this opportunity so that they can decide for themselves if they want to participate or not. What bothers me is that many of them just simply don't know. Likewise, as you know, we are trying to grow our non-student population, so professionals, non-students, maybe teenagers. Again, we tried advertising online and it seems to be kind of working, but at the same time, not enough. And so we have extremely high satisfaction. I mean, those who participated, those who went through the project, they're very, very happy. But the problem is that there are billions, literally billions of people on this planet who could benefit from XCulture who just simply don't know about us. And so I wonder if you can maybe provide some suggestions for both how to reach academics, professors, students, universities in countries perhaps where we currently are not known. Maybe there are some professional associations similar to Academy of Management, but local. Maybe there are some mailing lists. Maybe you have your own friends that you can maybe somehow inform about us. But also non-students, primarily schools, teenagers, but also professionals. Again, I'm not sure if it would be some sort of, your personal contacts, or maybe you have brilliant ideas for how we can advertise to them. So obviously we use Facebook, we use Instagram, all those channels, and it's kind of working, but not as well as we would like. And so I really would like to use your input here. And finally, there are several ideas that we want to launch and we need some help. And so I'll be sending an email soon with the list of sort of positions where we need help. Like, for example, for a long time, I wanted to do like a talk show, where we talk to experts in the field. I did several of those webinars this summer, and actually they were very, very well received. So we had a lot of professors, we had a lot of attendees, very good feedback. So I think we can do something like that on a regular basis, but I'm not the best host. My diction is not as clear. sometimes don't have the time. So maybe some of you want to volunteer to be sort of the host of that show. And so there are about a dozen ideas like that that I wanted to share, and just to see if you have some suggestions, or perhaps you want to volunteer to be in that role. So again, I will be sending an email with more details in the coming days or weeks, and hopefully some of you will be able to help and maybe even take a lead on some of those initiatives. Thank you so much. Sorry again that I cannot join you live. I will watch the recording, and then hopefully there will be some good input coming from this session. Thank you.